Squad, is your boy E, back at it again with another dope legendary video, and today we're going to be talking about this Lexus here, which is the GS430, and why I believe that the second generation GS is still one of the best car in the market today. For those of you who doesn't know me, my name is Eli. I do pretty cool car reviews, and the one you are about to watch now, and all the videos that I already posted on my channel. If you have not watched any of my videos, right after this, we'll browse through. You might find something that you like. Yeah, I know what's going up there right now. You might be saying that I know, Eli, that Lexus offer a variety of different sedan. Why do you pick that the GS is the best sedan? Well, what I'm going to be saying next is what I believe. And for those of you who doesn't really know all of the sedan options that you have, at this moment, I'm about to break them down for you so you can figure out exactly if I'm right or wrong. Like I said again, that's what I believe. And for those of you who do not know, now we're going to be talking about the variety options of sedan that Lexus offered. So the first one we're going to talk about is the IS. The Lexus came with the IS in the market in 1998. Moving forward in 2013, they have a new upgrade in the new front lift, and also 2021. That same IS also marketed in Japan as the Altazar. I'm not quite sure if I pronounced them properly, but I'll make sure I put the name in the screen. So that's for the IS. The next option that you can pick from is the ES. The ES model was a bit older than the IS because it came around in 1989. So that's when Lexus introduced the ES. And the ES also was based on the Camry until 2013. And nowadays, if you have a Toyota Avalon, that's technically the same thing with the ES, because the silky ride, the luxury, and how smooth the car is, there's no difference between the Avalon and the ES model. Moving forward, we have the LS. The LS is as old as the ES because they were both introduced in 1989. Moving forward in 2017, Lexus introduced the new upgrades in the front lift in 2017 and also 2020. And that same LS Lexus was also marketed in Japan as the Toyota Celsius until 2006. So that means if you have this LS in America, it names different in Japan. Now, we have the GS model, which is one of my favorite out of all the options. Though I have not hesitated to share the love that I have for the GS, knowing now the IS offered the IS500, which comes with a natural aspirated V8 engine that can provide about 400 plus horsepower. That tells me something else. I don't know. I still like the GS though, but knowing that IS500 with a V8 engine, 400 horsepower, it's something to think about. And now this is the moment of truth where we're going to talk about exactly the very first year that the GS hit the market to the last year that the GS been produced, and also each year which model that was offered and that was available. So now I know you guys probably know a little bit about the GS. For those of you who don't, I'm going to break it down for you. Let me know in the comment box below which one is your favorite. What would you pick? I'm sure you guys already know exactly which one that I like. With that being said, you guys, let's get to that segment where I'm going to break down for you exactly the GS model when it came to the market, and each year which models that you had available. Now we're going to talk about the very first year that the GS hit the market. In 1993, the GS came with the GS300. That was the only model that was available in 1993. Moving forward in 1998, which was the year that the GS was the best selling sedan in the market, which they added the extra on, which was the 400. So now you had the option to choose from the GS300 and the GS400. They didn't have the 430 until 2001, which was the only model that they had available, which was 2001. They had a GS430. Moving forward in 2006, that's where they have a lot more options available, which again, that's the third generation. So which they had the GS300, they had the GS300 all-wheel drive, they had the GS300 330, they had the GS430, and also they had the GS450 hybrid. And moving forward in 2008, they had a GS350 all-wheel drive, and the GS460. Moving a couple years later, again, they had the GS250, the GS350, the GS350 all-wheel drive, and the GS450 hybrid. And the last year, which is 2015, the Lexus has the GS200T, GS250, GS350, and the 350 all-wheel drive, and also the GS450 and the GSF. Now, you might be wondering, why do I have the hood open? Actually, what I have to say next has everything to do with what's underneath this hood. So now, I don't necessarily just like the GS430. I just like the GS model, period. As a matter of fact, I wish I could find me another GS300 that comes with the 2JZ engine, which is like a V6 that can provide about 265 horsepower, if I'm not mistaken. And if you do not know anything about the 2JZ engine, that tells me that you have no idea about what a Toyota Supra is. Anyway, you guys, this GS430, which is the second generation, comes with that 3UZ engine, and the other one, which I'm thinking the first generation, or the GS400, also come with a 1UZ engine. So because these engines are one of the most famous engine that you could find in the Lexus package itself. And I have nothing against hybrid car, but when it comes to tuning, you do not want to deal with that many electrical cable, because when you're dealing with a hybrid and trying to tune your car to have as many horsepower as you can, things is going to get pretty complicated. And if you don't know what you're doing, you might hate the fact that you make that purchase. I tell you, trying to stay away from hybrid. And I remember the last time I did the video talking about everything you need to know about a GS before you purchase one, I had said that this 3UZ engine block can tune all the way to 600 horsepower. A lot of people kind of hated on me in the comment box below. I'll probably want to say to you, do your research, because I do know a close friend of mine and a bunch of videos online that they stocked engine block GS430 that comes with a 3UZ engine all the way to 600 horsepower. So anyway, you guys, moving forward, a lot of you might be saying, what is the hype about that GS, the 2JZ engine, when the engine don't even provide that many horsepower as stock? Well, I'll tell you that there is not an engine that gives you a better option to tune it and as solid as this engine built to get as many horsepower out of it. And I tell you that if you're dealing with mechanical stuff and you're a mechanic, you're going to get a better idea than I do, because I am no mechanic. I don't know all the technical terms, but I tell you that this engine is almost indestructible. And also, what I want you guys to keep in mind is we're talking about a 20 years old car. I'm not talking about nothing recent, nothing, you know, just built. I'm talking about a 20 years old car. So be nice in the comment box. Be nice. Don't be mean. Be nice. Because I'm going to be talking about a couple things that you will be amazed if you didn't know that the GS has. This GS430 comes with a 3UZ engine that can provide about 300 horsepower. It's also a V8 engine that comes with a 4.3 liter engine. It's also a rear-wheel drive. You won't have any issues with doing burn. Keep in mind, this is a V8 that can give you 18 city and 23 highway as gas mileage. You have a tire size of 235, 45, 17. So pretty much have a 17-inch rim all around this. It also comes with power windows, power seat, a navigation system. It also comes with a 2 heated seat, which is a driver's side and a passenger side, and it also comes with 3 different modes. And it has a sunroof, and it comes with a garage door setup. And last but not least, it is a nice looking vehicle. And the one thing that I wish that I had is an aux cable instead of using this old cassette setup thing to have an aux cable, but nonetheless, this is a 20 years old car. That's asked for too much and been ungrateful. Now, I'm about to answer a couple of questions, and maybe this is probably one of the main reasons why I think the GS model is one of the best car you could probably buy. Is I've seen so many GS 300, 400, 430 that has well over 200, 300 miles, even almost 400 miles, and these cars are running just like they had less than 1,000 miles. So not many V8 engine that you can find to have this reliability and as solid as the GS. And also, if you're trying to be a little bit sporty, or you want to have that horsepower or that option or that platform where you could build from, grow from, and don't have a lot of money, this might be a good option for you to go, because mind you, you can find a GS model that's well over 110, 120,000 miles, less than 5,000. But if you're trying to look for a car that has a lower miles in the back end, you're probably going to spend a little bit more than $6,000 to find a good clean GS with less than 100,000 miles. And nonetheless, if you find one for like 5,000-6,000, I believe it's still worth it. And one of the reasons why also that I feel like I should talk about this car is because I feel like this car is undervalued, underappreciated for the things that this car comes with. For a 20-year-old car, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, this is a pretty darn good option when it comes to buying a car and want to have a platform where you could build from, where you could have a lot of fun. If you don't have money to buy maybe a Mustang 5.0 or a Corvette or a Camaro SS, where you could have that platform where you could build from and don't have to spend or break the bank. So this is a pretty good car, and if you're not trying to be, you know, muscle up and everything, so this is a pretty luxury car in the back end, because a couple features that you have in this car, you're not gonna find it in no Hyundai or Nissan or one of the Kias, you know what I mean, one of the regular cars, because mind you, heated seats, you gotta be in the higher end package. And I'm sure any GS owner can testify about this. I don't think you would find any cheap car or any car that's around the price range that give you that smooth, silky, and luxury ride as this GS model. Well, I might have exaggerated this a little bit more. I sound a little bit biased, but nonetheless, you guys, I've not experienced it, so I'm only talking about what I know. So, like I said again, it's a personal opinion. Don't beat me up too much, but let me know what other car that's compatible to this GS. Don't just tell me based on your assumption. You have to have both experience. Drive the Lexus and whatever other car that you have in mind. Let me know in the comment box below. Maybe you might be right. I might even want to take a look at it and maybe drive it and probably see the difference. But nonetheless, I'm not going to lie to you guys. If you're trying to buy a GS, I promise you, just close your eyes. Make sure mechanical wise there's not major issue with the car. If there's nothing major and you find your car from maybe about 150,000 miles or lower, just go for it. Try to stay away from higher miles in the back end, but if you find it for a pretty good price, you don't mind risking buying it, I still don't think that you're wrong, because these cars, again, like I said again, I'm repeating myself at this point, they can even run up to 400,000 miles. With all that being said, you guys, this video is coming to an end. I didn't mean to drag this video for too long. Let me just close this real quick. I didn't mean to drag this video this long, but nonetheless, I wanted to go as details and as quick as possible of why I believe this GS second generation is one of the best models still, even though it's 20 years later. And also, this car, when you straight pipe it, it sounds straight like a Scat Pack or straight like a Camaro SS. I mean, if that even better. I didn't mean to drag this video too long or make it too long, but nonetheless, you guys, this video is coming to an end. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you had liked this video. And don't be stressed, stay blessed, and your boy's out. Bye, 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 bye.